Oh, here it starts. No. These are the same ones I wore in Dunkirk.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was on my boat getting people out.
But podcasting, this must be annoying for you because when you started comedy, which was when? Honestly, I'm not trying to be a dick right now.
No, but you don't have to try. That's the beautiful thing about you.
It just happens.
It's your essence, dude.
I mean, you were at this Comedy Cellar before this thing was even a place to perform it, correct?
Right. I started in 81.
81.
Stand-up, and then the Comedy Cellar came along soon thereafter.
What's your opinion on podcasting?
I love it.
You do?
Yeah, because any comedian can put on his show, talk about his ideas. He doesn't need anyone's approval.
Yep.
Doesn't need to audition.
Yep.
The corporate, well, I don't know. I think that thing about your sister, maybe you should not talk about that.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Well, how have you? That's great to hear, because I always find comics that started prior to these, social media or just hate the new stuff. But obviously you, a successful example of that, have evolved and have learned how to adjust it. But you don't have a podcast.
No, I don't. I don't tweet. I don't Twitter.
You don't tweet?
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's worked against me. But I can't be concerned during the day and giving stuff up.
Yeah.
Or like following someone.
Yeah.
Because if I'm following, like, say, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
And I see it comes up, I'm going to read it.
Sure.
Or Albert Brooks.
Sure.
Or, some comedian I just met. But that takes little chunks out of your brain.
I like this.
During the day.
Yeah.
And there's something about letting ideas sit and ferment, and you bring it up in a stand-up act or a short story or a screenplay you're writing.
Or channel it as an actor, maybe?
Yes.
So, just so I'm clear, because I'm learning right now, you feel like when I grab this and I scroll up because I got 5 minutes to kill or I'm waiting for the, whatever, and I see an Instagram and I see a tweet, that maybe that's taking chunks of my brain that could be used to my benefit.
There's nothing wrong with downtime,
Yeah.
empty time, just sitting on a bench if you're waiting for a bus or waiting for a friend to pick you up, just to look around.
Yeah.
And not look at your phone.
Yeah.
Now, no.
Do you do that?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't take my phone to the gym with me.
Yeah.
I'm not there a long time, but
Yeah.
I that's one thing. I don't. I have my phone with me now, but I'm not.
Sure you
I don't
do.
have it out.
Yeah. We've had people on this podcast, Alan, that I'm interviewing doing this while I'm interviewing
Well,
them.
that's an addiction.
That's an addiction.
That is,
yes.
Someone has a problem.
Yes.
That they can't let their brain just be totally focused.
Yeah.
Not that it takes a lot of effort,
Yeah.
to do a podcast.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
And like, say, if we're at lunch and you're constantly looking down at your phone, I don't like it.
No.
And it's not like we have to talk every minute or I need the attention.
Yeah.
Just chill, man.
Well, silence is okay.
Yeah, very okay.
And sometimes with you, I prefer it.
Yeah, but it was that. Oh wow! See, now if I'd been looking at my iPhone, I'd miss that
missed
gold.
that gold.
That was gold, man.
I think it's awesome that you.
This is
put
why you can't say that, because I'm on the podcast. You invited me here, so you can't say I don't want to hear you talk.
I know, it is funny.
It doesn't work.
It's like the Don Rickles story. Hey, Frank Sinatra, can you come over and say hi? And then he comes in. That's basically what I just did. You just came from an audition. Not an audition. Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought Alan dressed up for this podcast, you were poorly mistaken. It was a callback.
Callback, but the audition I wore the same.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you get a callback, that means that they liked you the first time. So
Right.
do you pretty much play it exactly the same, both outfit, both the acting, attitude, all that?
Yeah, pretty
unless
much.
you get a note of
Right. No, they said we want the same thing.
Yep.
And then they put a little business in. I did that. There was no dialogue.
Nice.
I was with this lovely young girl.
Oh, tell me about it, huh?
And the first audition, I was hoping to get paired with this girl, and I got her, and
Yeah.
she was great too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's nice, but it's funny. It was like middle-aged guys
Yeah.
and young women.
Yeah.
Because it's a father-daughter.
Yeah, you
thing.
tell me. You can only disclose certain
Right.
information about
I just
this.
don't want to give anything creative away.
I got it.
And the posturing of the men at the original audition, talking in voices not to the women, but knowing that they can hear them. And these guys, about this job I had, well, I
got
used to
this.
do this.
Yeah.
And guys do this, actors
Yeah.
do this, not only at commercial auditions, but regular
Yeah.
auditions.
Yeah.
And one point, I went to this audition. This is about 3 years ago. And these, like, 4 or 5 middle-aged actors had already gone in.
Yeah.
An audition, but they were talking because, this is when they see each other. And
Right.
they were talking about, well, this, and they're dropping what they've been doing. Well, my agent said it was a big deal, but I didn't think it was a big. And I almost looked at him, and I looked at him, and I said, "Stop!"
You just
No, I wanted to. I didn't.
Yes,
I go,
yeah.
or I go, "Are you guys kidding?"
Yeah.
Because if I was directing a scene, this is exactly how to go about self-important asshole
Yes.
actors. They were using their 1974 theater voices.
That's literally what New York comics say L.A. people do, and you guys are doing it. You know, it's like the how you doing? Great, I just booked a. That's not what I asked you. I asked you how you're doing. You know.
Hey, congratulations on that serial thing. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to do 5 of them.
I mean, exactly.
And one guy, and this is weird. So I was
so true.
auditioning for this commercial right after Mad Men. I had popped on Mad Men because I
Yep.
couldn't tell anybody I was on it.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, and this guy across from me is kind of trashing this actor who's on a TV show in a loud voice.
Oh gosh.
And I'm thinking to myself, geez, dude, everyone in this town is 1 degree of separation.
Yeah.
Could be a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's on and on like this. He's yapping. Everybody's sitting there. Then a guy walks in and comes up to me. Hey, great job on Mad Men. I said, thanks. Then a guy walked out of audition, came up to me. Hey, great job on Mad Men. Thanks. And then another actor came in. Same thing. And you could tell that this guy was bummed.
Yeah.
and then he looked over at his buddy. He goes, hey, can you believe we did Jersey Boys 10 years ago? I'm like, what? And then they grab a group of us to go in to get the same direction to save time. And the guy said, hey, before we start, Allan, great job on that. You know, so you could tell it was killing this guy. You know?
Just keep it to yourself, everybody. You were talking about male posturing. I remember I was watching Planet Earth. You know that documentary?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was doing like mating. And you're watching this male bird do all this crazy shit, like they clean their nest.
The bird?
And they
you remember the bird?
I forget the bird. I don't know. I know you're a big bird guy.
Yeah, the Latin name?
I don't know. I don't know. Are you serious? Do you know birds?
No.
Okay. Oh, you got me.
He
got me, and we're on camera.
I got to get some humor in here.
Yeah, this podcast needs it. So this bird literally cleans the nest, then it dances, and I'm watching going like, what a ridiculous set of actions this bird has to do to try to get laid. And then you go to the bar, human bar, and you watch what we do, and it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, chest out, talking about success. I talked to some guy last night. Oh, I just did the Showtime thing, and I was, you know, we made it available. I could also pop over and do the CBS thing, super loud so the girls could hear. It's the same thing.
Oh.
We're just animals, aren't we, Allan?
No, I'm not.
You're not an animal. You're a civilized.
I'll talk about me on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. When is your birthday, Allan?
November 38th.
Yes, perfect.
19. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm glad I laughed at that. It's like when people ask me my height, and I'll say, you know, I'm at 6'14".
Yeah,
You know, that's a good one.
1954.
You don't have to tell me the 919. You don't have to tell me the actual.
No, that's okay. I when I meet a guy,
Yeah.
and I we're talking, how old are you? And the guy, I go, what are you, an actress?
Come on, bro.
Stop it. You know.
Well, even I've been very pleasantly surprised. Any female entertainment people I've had on this show happily just to tell you their age. I don't think it matters anymore. Does it matter?
Well, yeah, it does. It does.
For acting, it does.
And for writing. I know,
shit.
Men that don't do it. Yeah, don't talk about your age.
Okay, I won't.
If you can help it.
But you just told me you're
But
full.
yeah, I don't care because I'm an actor and I look my age.
Yeah,
you know.
Right. I got it.
I have a buddy of mine who looks 12 years younger than he is, and he's like my age. He looks like he's maybe 50.
Yeah.
So he doesn't talk about it.
He
He's not an actor, but you know,
Yeah, I
I
got
don't
it.
blame him.
What were birthdays like growing up? That's September 19th. Where'd you grow up?
Miami.
Ugh.
Born in St. Louis, raised in Miami. Thanks for
kidding.
just trashing my hometown.
Well, Miami is just like L.A. in that it's
No.
a wonderful, awesome place. But as soon as people hear, they always have a negative reaction. It's like, why? It's an awesome place.
This is in the 60s.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
Rode my bike all year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it rained. You know.
Sure.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was a Catholic, so we lived right near the church and school.
That sounds.
Raised in a parish, so it was like a community feeling.
Okay.
We had woods out behind the church, so me and the ruddy kids, we'd go out to the woods, build forts, you know, go swimming in the swimming hole.
This
it was
was-
that last generation that could do that.
They could do that, and this was before the Catholic Church had really started to crumble, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everything was safe.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And Kennedy was elected.
Yes.
So
Catholic president, right?
Yes. It was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
the chosen people.
Man, I didn't realize, because I just watched a documentary on JFK, and if you're not familiar with what happened in JFK, there's a lot of information out there. But that was
a
a big
misinformation.
Yeah, that was big for the Catholics.
Oh, well, I've told the story in podcasts. But,
Please share it on this one.
My father pulled my brother and my sisters out of school in the middle of the day on November 18th on a Monday or a Tuesday and took us to the airport off to the side. There's a field, a lot of protesters there, and in JFK, we saw JFK and Jackie. And my brother was able to sneak up and shake his hand. He shook his hand afterwards. That was on a Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, and that Friday he was assassinated.
Holy shit!
So that was huge.
Okay.
That was a, no one could explain it.
Yeah.
God, because I bought it. I was in fourth grade. Yeah, God takes care of us. Got it.
Yeah.
If you're good, you go to heaven.
Yep.
Good. Say your prayers.
Yep.
And then Kennedy gets shot. Walter Cronkite, the priest, the nuns, my parents. No one can explain.
Yeah.
Why God let this happen.
Yeah.
If he's gonna watch me crossing the street, and he's not going to,
he's going to let our president into a convertible?
Yeah, and quickly,
crazy to think about.
So when I look back at that time, that's when the apathy set in. I did poorly in school. I didn't care. I didn't buy it, even though I still went through with it. As I look back, that changed me, and my perception.
Do you still practice?
No.
No.
It's
hard to meet a stand-up comic that really fully practices a religion.
Yes.
Why
yes,
is that?
I think as you get older, and especially a comedian, you're used to making up your own mind, following that, the beat of a different drummer.
Sure.
And you see the world.
Yep.
And you think, I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power. I believe in energy. To me, that's God.
Okay.
So I still pray.
Okay.
But it's not to the Jesus God.
Sure.
It's to just life, love, energy. And that's kind of my thing. I meditate.
You can't pray to energy, though.
No, but you can
send energy.
Yeah, you can. It's just like if I see you when you're going, or you tell me a family member's going to the hospital, I'll say a little prayer.
Yeah,
you know,
sending some vibes.
Yeah. Hey, I hope whoever is going to be okay. That's all vibes. It just, and it's not, it doesn't like go out, it doesn't go out there.
Right.
But the fact that you stop and you take that moment, that's it. That's what it is.
I agree with you. I think it helps when you send whatever we want to call it, prayer, meditation, intent, energy. It also helps just to get us out of our own brain. Think about someone else for a second, right? Stop thinking, I got a bad haircut or I didn't get the thing. No, think about someone else for a second. I was much more okay with prayer once I changed that word to meditation, reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer scares me because I grew up Catholic and they just beat the shit out of me,
Yeah.
Emotionally and guilt and shame.
You came up in the 70s?
I was in 80s. Yeah.
And,
early 80s.
Well, 20 years before that,
Yeah.
there was, forget about it. I wish I'd come up in the 80s, man.
I know.
If you look at me when I take off these headphones, this ear is a little bit longer than this ear.
Yeah?
And I'm not kidding.
Because they used to drag you?
Yeah, they used to pull you out of the chair, and my left ear was always on the aisle,
That's terrible. The nuns are terrible. You're bad people.
No, and we had a lot of good nuns. And here's the
Yeah.
thing. I worked in a rectory when I was 14, 15, answering the phones.
Okay.
Great priests.
Yeah?
Some of the finest men
I'm sure.
growing up were priests. So when priests, now they have this well-deserved reputation because
Yeah.
the Catholic Church has let it
Yes.
turn
Has protected them.
Yes, for generations, So that's kind of frustrating too. But someone said, oh, did you say 10 Hail Marys and that makes everything better? I said, no, but if you sit down and you're intent and you say 10 Hail Marys or 10 Our Fathers, that's meditative. It's slowly,
Sure.
if you really say those prayers.
That's a mantra.
Yes.
That's an om or, if you say the whatever, grace before a meal that isn't, anyways, yes, interesting. We've gotten off topic as we are supposed to on this podcast.
It's crazy. That's what it is. Off topic.
Off topic. Worst birthday.
What's the name of this show?
Worst birthday, yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about your worst birthday. September 19th, 1954.
Right.
How many years passed until you really feel like you had a worse birthday?
There were some kind of birthdays, like we'd get a party one year, and the next year not just a family party.
Right.
And so my parents said, "No, you had a party last year." And I
Right.
go, "No, I didn't." But money was tight in the
Sure.
house, so I let that go. Really didn't have a bad birthday, but until
All right, that's the podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Great coming by. We got who do we have coming in now?
How many siblings did you have?
I had 3.
Okay.
1 older brother, 2 younger sisters, middle child.
Okay, yeah.
So perfect.
There we go.
Perfect for showbiz.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's another thing for showbiz and it's on other podcasts, but
Well, apparently, what I've learned from Allan is that we need to really listen to his other podcasts.
Right, you really do. 'Cause worst birthday, 26 years old.
Okay.
Girlfriend in New York.
Ah, okay. Where were you living at the time?
Hell's Kitchen.
Nice. Tell me, that's changed, right?
Do you want to tell you about that or the worst birthday? No, it hasn't changed.
It hasn't?
No, there's nice eateries.
Okay. I thought just gays lived in Hell's Kitchen.
No.
Okay.
Everybody lives in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And Chelsea is more of that, but still, it's gays are everywhere now.
It
It's not
seems
just one
like it, huh?
section.
I know. I can't get rid of them.
Why would you want to get rid
I'm
of gays?
just kidding. That was a joke, Allan. It's the comedy podcast.
They raised the bar for food, entertainment, style. Thank God.
Clean. Yeah. Yeah.
I knew a guy who was a comedian gay, kind of dirty.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like hygienically? dirty?
Hygienically.
That's fascinating.
And I'm like, dude, you're gay. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so
You're 26.
and I'm going down to her girlfriend's brownstone. She had a girlfriend. She's older than me, 33. It was like she was opened me up sexually, culturally. It was great.
Wait, this is the girlfriend or
The girlfriend.
Okay, she's 33, you're 26, and she's opening you up sexually.
Yeah,
okay.
like the last couple of years. It's really nice.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And this is in the
New York.
70s.
No, this is in
80.
80. What's that? 26.
If you're born in 54, this was 80, 81.
80. Yeah.
So haven't even started stand up yet.
Kind of. I had a partner,
Okay.
but
Got
aspiring.
Sure. Okay.
And I go down to her friend's brownstone, and her friend kind of likes to swing, and I know she had talked about it.
Wow.
So I'm expecting a little threesome.
Yeah.
A little birthday threesome. And walk in, surprise! It's a surprise party.
Oh, shit.
There are people there who, I like and love. She had set up, my roommate had worked with her, and I thought, something's going on with my roommate and my girlfriend. But it turns out they were just behind my back. So I was totally surprised. It was nice, but I go, okay, after like 10 minutes, can we get these people out of here?
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a threesome.
So we spend the night there. The girlfriend isn't there.
Okay.
Her girlfriend is there, the one that owns the apartment.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're at home and you're not living in New York or LA, you maybe not know that a brownstone is one of the nicer apartments you can have in New York.
It's a single building.
But it's like amazing. People don't have these.
No.
Yeah.
Now they're 15 million.
Right. Exactly.
Back then it was like a mil, maybe.
Yeah.
If it was renovated.
Right.
If not, it was 250.
Right.
And you gutted it and flipped it.
Redid it.
This is a different show now.
Yeah.
So we spend the night, and then her friend comes home, and we're lying in bed naked. And I get up, she goes, "You don't have to put your clothes on."
Here we go.
And her friend comes in. "Hi, how are you?" Well, I hadn't met her before. I meet her naked.
You met her naked.
Yeah.
And you're in her bed.
Yeah.
With your girlfriend.
It's incredible bed she got from India. It was like covered on 3 sides with these little shelves, wood carving.
You remember this?
Oh, God. This bed was phenomenal.
This was 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not 30,
whatever.
6, 7 years ago. This is not the math show.
It's a lot of different shows.
And so she kind of sits on the bed, and she's like, they're both kind of tickling me a little bit, but talking. And then she takes this string. She had like these sweatpants on and wraps it around my penis and like and I'm like, let's get going here. No, nothing happened. I mean, we started, and I go, I want to get my nut here.
Yeah,
I'm 26.
Yeah.
I'm a young man.
Yeah.
And then finally later with my girlfriend at the time, we did another threesomes, which was my first. It's the same day the Dolphins beat the Jets to go to the Super Bowl. So that's what I remember from that day. But I just remembered the birthday. It's like, I want these people out of here.
Yeah.
I want to get high.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend and I at the time were having just this great sex. It was always an adventure.
Yeah. I think this is a perfect look into the male psyche. Someone threw you a party. There's people there.
And I appreciated that.
It was organized.
I go, this is lovely. Wow, this means a lot. Now can you go?
Exactly. It was like what most people would just be happy. There's a party. There's thought. There's a cake. But you're literally thinking, I thought I was going to have a threesome. And you did end up having
the possibility
Yeah.
of it. It was just, I went, holy God,
Yeah.
everybody's here. It's so nice. And,
Yeah.
and it was very moved. Maybe an hour later, I wanted them out.
Tell me about this rope around the cock thing.
It was like a string from a drawstring.
Sure.
But
What's that doing? Just to
I don't know.
entice
It was
you?
new to me. It was a first move. As long as she didn't yank it off, I was fine.
Yeah. Why is it that we want this threesome so badly? Is it because 2 is just better than 1?
No, because it's you. All right, I was 26 times, so
Yeah.
I had been with women, probably for a good 8 years.
Sure.
Not all the time, but
Sure.
and I thought, boy, 2 girls. That's got to be great.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I'd like to find out.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But then I did. My girlfriend, like after that period, she goes, if you find a woman that, likes women and wants to get into bed with us, bring her home. And about a year later, I
Wow.
met this woman.
Took a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't hey, you want to have threesome?
I mean, that's yeah.
there was this woman I was having an affair with.
Okay.
And she came over, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't have to choreograph.
Right.
Nobody had to say, oh, move your elbow or something.
Right.
It just unfolded. They got into each other. They both got into me. It was so erotic and so beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And the Dolphins had just beat the Jets. It's when A.J. Dewey got that interception.
You don't have to tell me about A.J. Dewey.
During the strike year, so I guess it was 81.
You do have to. There needs to be a lot of confidence in the women that to just be okay with you bringing home another woman, right?
Yeah, yes. My girlfriend, like I said, she opened me up sexually, very liberal, very open-minded.
Yeah.
And then I met this other
I'd
girl.
like to get her on this show.
No,
No.
you don't, because something else happened if you
Okay.
want to keep going.
Okay.
And then the other woman I met, we're in bed, I said, I felt her out. How did you feel about it? It wasn't like I surprised her with
Right,
it.
right.
She goes, no, I'd really be into that. And I won't give you the particulars.
Yeah.
I will after the show.
Sure.
But it was beautiful. It was great.
Alcohol and drugs involved?
No, maybe a little. Nobody was under the influence, really. Maybe a little pot.
Maybe a little pot.
But,
Yeah.
the excitement
Yeah.
of 2 women naked. What do you need?
No, I agree with you. That's the drug. That's the drug. Somehow, Allan.
Maybe some chips?
Somehow, ladies and gentlemen, Allan Havey has turned his worst birthday into all the different threesomes he's had.
No, this was. I've only had 4 in my life.
4 in your life.
Yeah, and they all happened organically.
I love it. Well, and
Yeah.
that's the best way they should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one time in Seattle, these 2 women picked me up, and I couldn't get it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I was overwhelmed. I was surprised, and they were very understanding.
It wasn't like an alcohol thing. It was just
No.
it was just too much.
I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
and like there's a young guy out there. Oh man, what are you kidding me?
What are you, pussy?
No, it's performance anxiety or whatever.
I appreciate you being honest, and I think women. I'm sure I can't speak on behalf of females, but we really have a gauge in between our legs, and if we get too emotional, too excited, or whatever, it can become a problem.
Yeah, or you're just wiped out.
You're just wiped out.
Or it's too overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know.
lot going on. I remember.
And then you're on a bus and it gets hard. Like, where were
Oh,
you?
Jesus.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, I just
could've-
watched a commercial and I'm rock hard.
You're in coach in the middle seat, and all of a sudden, what's the boner for?
Oh, that's true. Allan, what is, and this is the only guest I've ever had where maybe the worst birthday could also be the best birthday.
Well, it eventually turned into.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
it wasn't a birthday.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm thinking that's the worst birthday I had.
No, that's great. Well,
And it was a surprise party.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
have you had a surprise party since thrown for you?
No.
Yeah.
No, and my wife would kill me, and
Yep.
we know each other.
Yeah.
We would never do that. Surprise in any way.
It seems like people don't want a surprise party.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of worse birthdays as surprise parties.
Really.
What is that? We like the known, right? We don't like the unknown.
In certain ways, hey, surprise, you're at work, people,
Yeah.
do something. That's kind of nice,
Yeah.
I guess. Or listen, there are people out there who feel, man, no one cares about me.
Yeah.
You go through that, you're coming up on your birthday, what's my wife about? Surprise, and everyone comes out.
We all love you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
For people that need it. I don't need that.
You don't need it.
I like being lonely.
Well, I also think comics get a lot of validation. We get the affection and attention we need when we're on stage.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right? We
It's
get
a
this
beautiful
15
thing.
minutes is all I really need is just for people to be staring at me, and that fills me up for the rest of the day or week.
At around the age of 50,
Yeah.
about 12 years ago,
Okay.
coming up on 13, I realized I don't need, not that I needed it, but it was a gauge of being a good comedian. I take pride in my work,
Sure.
and I like to do a good job. But it's like every laugh and every applause I get after this is gravy.
Yeah.
So for the last 12 years, it's like, I don't need it.
You're just skating on yeah.
I'm just doing good work, and I still like it when I have a really good set. But it's not like I need it, man.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a maturity and a composure and a calmness of successes you've had growing up. Because watching you perform, what I love about watching you perform, and we'll make sure to edit this part out, is you're just free up there. Like, it seems like I got some material, I'm going to do that. Maybe, oh no, something's happening here, we're going to go to that. Like, it doesn't seem desperate. Like some of these comics, it does. Like, I got to crush, I got to go to this bit, let's get to this bit. And, at the Comedy Magic Club is where I met you and where I started watching you do comedy.
It's really the only place we've seen each other
That's
work.
it. And that actually, I think it's probably, let's keep it that way.
Good.
You know what I mean? Yeah, good. You feel the same way.
I won't put a call in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I forgot I need Allan for something. No, but you're very free up on stage. And what I think I'm hearing is you weren't always that way.
No, certainly not at the beginning. It was more of a presentation
Sure.
because I came from a theater background.
Sure.
I was a theater major, and I took a lot of those values into it. And when I started to loosen up a little bit, like it's right after my dad passed away in '84, because I was
Sorry to hear
visiting
that.
him. Thank you. And it was a long time ago, but still, it was like someday I'm going to be there. And I go, what am I holding back for? Why don't I just have a little bit more fun
Yeah.
and push it a little bit more?
Yeah.
And that really opened me up as a comedian.
I love it.
But when I go on a Hermosa, I get nervous.
Of course.
And not like, oh, I got to kill, but just like,
Yeah.
I get butterflies and stuff like that. And sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I definitely have a set list.
Sure.
I have like
Sure.
safety buoys
Sure.
to go to.
Sure.
But if I see somebody and something comes out of my mouth and it gets a laugh, I'll go that way.
I never heard it described as a safety buoy, and I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to
First time I did it, said it safety buoy.
safety. Well,
It
worked.
just-
That's
I would
how
just-
that's how organic you
Because
are.
we're in a sea. Life is
Yeah.
a sea. Oh, there's a buoy over there. I'll go hang on.
It's fun to watch you perform because of that, but it's also more exciting that at any age, when you do stand-up comedy, it still gives you butterflies. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
A lot of people don't get butterflies from their job.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
A lot of comedians don't get butterflies. They're kind of burnt.
Yeah.
They still do it, and they're still good.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of going through the...
And that comes from you got to be in the moment, in my opinion. That's what gives it the excitement.
Absolutely.
Allan Havey, where can everybody find out all about you? Where can they see you on Mad Men? I assume it's on Mad Men.
Yeah, Netflix. You
Okay.
can watch.
Great.
That's a great thing about if you do any television show, it runs forever.
That's amazing.
So great. So yeah, you can go on.
Where else?
AllanHavey.com.
There we go.
If you want to go there, go on my IMDb page. See, you can see all my credits there and stuff. And
You'll be performing in New York Labor Day, right?
Labor Day weekend, I'll be at the Comedy Cellar, September 5th.
Okay.
At the Village Underground in New York.
Fun.
8 p.m. It's my show. There'll be a couple comedians on there, but I'm going to headline that
I love
night.
it. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great
And they've been
room.
great to you, huh?
Oh, fantastic. Here's the key. Start when they open.
Yeah.
Do a really good job
Yeah.
for 6
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And they'll still book you.
Yeah, that's a good advice for comics out there. Start when one of the best comedy clubs in the world opens, and
Right.
then be hilarious for 30 years.
Exactly.
That's
and
that easy.
And be effective on stage, and just be a nice guy off stage.
That's important too, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't always been that. When I was younger, because I'd go to a club and people would talk to you, and I'd talk to people, but I kind of was a little brusque because I was nervous about
Sure,
going on. So
sure.
I kind of got a reputation of being a little hard ass, and it took me 20 years to get rid of that reputation.
When I met you, you weren't that way. So
Well,
you're
yeah,
a nice guy
but
because you figured
like
it out.
10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
10 years ago. Allan Havey, everybody, thank you for sharing your worst birthday, which is basically you fucking 2 girls at once.
That's as bad as it gets, man. That's as bad as it gets.
Thank
But
you.
no, it didn't happen on my birthday.
I understand.
That's
I got
not my
it.
worst birthday.
I understand. Thank you for being here.
It's so nice to be married.
That was great.